Now we've come past the other visitor center for Big Cypress, and of course now we have a red light, but we are going to be turning left here to go down towards Everglades City. Teddy knows there's a playground involved, so he's making sure he tells his father, make sure you go this way, Daddy, not that way. So it's south on County Road 29 here in Collier County. We're driving to the city. Oh yes, Everglades. The thing with Everglades City is it's kind of funny it's named City because it is not really big. But back in the day, it has I tell you, if you're into Florida history, yeah, there's a lot to read about Everglades City in the area down here. Back in the day, it was a big thing. Now, not so much, but it's cute. Cute fishing town. We crossed up over the bridge and now we're in the heart of Everglades City, and Teddy's going, wow, look at the big city. The boy forgets he was in Orlando last week. No, you're not in Orlando now, sweetie. I'm just giving you a little bit of a drive-through view of Everglades City. Had some recent hurricane damage over the last few years, so some of it's rebuilding. Like even our Everglades Visitor Center over here, our Gulf Coast Visitor Center over here in Everglades City, just basically had to be redone because it was smashed by a hurricane within the last few years. It's cute though, cute area, it really is. We don't get up here enough just because it is a long way up and around. So even if we didn't stop for snacks and stuff this morning, you're looking at what, Mark? 2.5 hours up to here?
2.5, 3 hours to get to the Everglades.
Yeah, so yeah, from Flamingo to
which is the Everglades.
Yeah.
I'm already in the Everglades. It took me 3 hours to get to the Everglades. I
know, it's crazy, isn't it? So yeah, to get from like our housing in Flamingo up around to this Gulf Coast Visitor Center is about 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on traffic. Did you hear, I think they're going to tear down this building.
Which one, this one?
Yeah, the old depot. I don't know, maybe it was a rumor I heard. Oh yeah, because they have to save the Everglades Depot, yeah. Yeah, the corners here. Yeah, I had read that on Facebook, that they were... Wild Man's Pizza, Pasta, and Pythons? Is that Dusty's place? Does Dusty own that?
That's a White House.
Oh my gosh, I need to know if Dusty owns that. Yeah, look at the... Oh yes, look. Look, it's a city hall, sweetie. I think that's where Chris's brick is that I need to find. I need to figure that out. Anyway, oh my. Oh, this is not good. So there's a really nice playground here at a community park here in the center of Everglades City. Got two issues. First big issue is it's a lot hotter today than we expected it to be. Sebastian's reading that it's 85 degrees, but with the humidity, it's probably one of the worst days we've had so far in 2024. Of course, we picked it. Well, it was Mark's only day off for a while, so that's our first issue. So I don't really want to take Lucy out of the air conditioning much. The second issue is there seems to be some kind of birthday party or something going on here at the playground. So there's people everywhere, all over the picnic tables, all over the playground. They have a big bounce slide, wet slide. So, and my son is not shy, but Mark's real sweet, and Mark's kind of walked over with him a little bit to give him 5 or 10 minutes to play, which it's actually really hot today to do much more anyway. So I'm gonna sit with Lucy, hang out with Lucy while the boys go check it out and kind of get it out of Teddy's system because we had promised it. And then the other thing I wanted to do in Everglades City is I have a friend, Chris Kimball, really good Florida historian, works in the state archives office here up in Tallahassee. And he actually used to live and work in this area. And when they did a thing, I think over to City Hall it is, where you could do a buy a brick for like a fundraiser. So he has a brick over there. And I told Mark one of my big goals was to find Chris's brick before I left Florida. So, because Chris is a good friend, really cool guy. He has a YouTube channel, Chris Kimball. If I remember, I will link it below, because if you have interest in Florida history, especially Seminole War history, it's a channel to check out. So anyway, gonna let Teddy go play for a while, and then I'm gonna get out and find Chris's brick, and then try to kind of move on and maybe go find a snack and then start heading back across again. This worked out really well. Anyway, sometimes I don't have good signal here in Everglades City, but I do under my new cell plan carrier, so that's worked out good. So I got really excited because coming through town, I saw this sign that said Wild Man's Pizza, and pythons, and I thought, is that Dusty Crumb's place? And I Googled, and it is. He opened a pizza joint here in Everglades City just this last October 2023. So if you don't know who Wild Man is, Dusty Crumb, he is a famous python hunter, one of the famous python hunters here in South Florida. He was on a show called Guardians of the Glades, which you can find, I think, on Netflix or wherever you can find the old episodes of Guardians of the Glades. Highly recommend watching that series, even though it's quite old. I think it might have been on Discovery, so maybe if you look through old Discovery shows. I don't know, we watched it a couple years ago. Anyway, I absolutely fell in love with following him through that show, and he's quite a character. So even though I probably can't eat anything there because the pizza has cheese on it, and cheese is mammal, and I can't eat mammal, and even though Teddy's already had pizza today, I've got to support. So if he is open, and I probably he's not there, but if it is open, I've got to give support to Dusty Crumb and Wild Man, the famous python hunter. So I'm going to surprise Mark with that and insist that, yeah, we got to go to Dusty's place. So I did also find, while I was sitting here Googling, I know where the bricks are by the old city hall to go look for my friend Chris's bricks. I'm already got an easy scope out to run out and get that when the guys come back to the car. So pretty good. Another update. Do you guys ever like get so excited when you're on Google Maps and you find something really cool that you don't read the whole listing? Dusty's pizza place is closed on Sundays. Doesn't open until tomorrow morning. So sadly, we won't be hopping over there. But regardless, I want to give it a huge shout out. Sometimes because I just edit on my phone, I don't have fancy editing software yet. When I get to Texas, that's on the agenda, to finally get a MacBook and edit a little bit better. But for now, I'm gonna try, if I can, to insert a little screenshot I took from Google Maps to show you guys so you can look it up and maybe see a picture of Dusty. And anyway, go back, watch old episodes of Guardian of the Glades, follow Wild Man on Facebook. Really interesting individual. That's the playground that Teddy was just at. So he was really excited to do that for a while. So it's gonna be kind of windy here, but we're over here in City Hall and we're gonna find Chris's brick. Here we are. This City Hall here in Everglades City is picturesque for sure. Luckily, there's only this small stretch of bricks. So we have to try to find one that says, I'm assuming it will say Christopher Kimball. So let's take a look, Teddy, see if we can find Chris's brick. Yeah. I really thought I would be much quicker going through these. This is almost like a challenge on The Amazing Race. We're huge like Survivor fans and Amazing Race fans. This feels like a challenge stop on The Amazing Race that you have to go through all these. Please don't pull on the door, Teddy. They're not open. It's Sunday. So I thought Teddy was going to try to help me find Chris's name. But instead he's found steps to play on. But I'm determined. And Chris isn't online, so I can't like reach out to him and get a quick help. Where's your brick? Took me a while, but I finally found it. And in Chris's typical good humor, that's pretty cool. So here it is. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Teddy's shoe is on it. Christopher Kimball. Everglades City Hall, my name on a brick. That is so awesome. I'm so happy I came to find it. Christopher Kimball, Everglades City has my... See, I read it wrong. The sun was glaring on me the first time. I'm glad I got closer. Christopher Kimball, Everglades City has my name on a brick. That is still awesome. That is so awesome. I am so glad I took time to come see this. So, again, check out his channel on YouTube, especially if you like history. And, yeah, this is so awesome. I'm giddy. Gigantic goosebumps. Gigantic goosebumps that I was able to find it. Mark's trying to look up other ideas, but it's a lot of stuff. You are in kind of a touristy type area. A lot of it is pricey. Which sometimes that's okay. It is what it is where you are. But there's a lot that Teddy won't eat because he's fussy. There's a lot I can't eat because of the alpha-gal allergy. And sometimes we just look it all over and go, oh, you better just stop at Wendy's on the way home or something. No, we're not going to go home yet. Teddy's now having fun. Especially when I gave the reference that this was like the Amazing Race. Teddy loves the Amazing Race, Dad, so he wonders what the next challenge is. What's the next challenge? What's the next clue? Where do we have to find the next clue? What does the clue say? Taking a ride down here to pretty much the very end as far as you can go, down here by the historic Smallwood store. Kind of down in this direction. Smallwood Store Museum. To turn to the left. We probably won't go in today, but take a ride down and show you kind of the general direction. It is a Florida heritage site, as you can see. And Teddy's just beach, beach, beach. I told him let us take a ride down to the end, and then on our way back across the causeway, maybe we'll stop. We'll stop when we go back across the causeway, honey. I promise. Must be closed today. Normally you can't get down near here within 10 miles of parking near it. You know that?
No, it's not.
It's not? Wow, the last time we came down here, it was crowded, crowded, crowded. And zoom out a bit here, there, and get a better look at it. It's supposed to be a nice museum, but you have to pay, and today's just not the day to go in, to leave everybody in the car. Yes, honey, we will find a better spot on the causeway back out. Do a little bit of drive-in video as we drive back out too, because the sun's not glaring as much. As you can see, a lot of these houses are on stilts. Not all of them, but a lot are, like ours are in Flamingo, for obvious reasons. Flooding, hurricanes, all that. So, we're actually not in Everglades City anymore. It's, do you remember how to pronounce it? Chokloski?
Something like that.
Yeah, and Chris will correct us. Our friend Chris will correct us because we don't say most of these names correctly. So we keep trying to talk with Teddy about what is a dead end. What does a dead end mean? It means the end of the road. It's pretty simple. He's doing that typical 5-6-year-old thing of, well, what does it mean? A dead end. What? I don't know, but these bushes, look at these.
Right.
Beautiful, whatever those are. Oh, beautiful.
These ones are purple.
Yeah, some of them are pink, some of them are purple. The drink is the best. Well, probably clear water's actually the best for you. And that was it. That was the end of Chokloski. I don't know how to say it. There was a spot we saw right along here, I think, to stop. You see a very happy boy right here. We found a good spot. Mark's gonna happily sit with Lucy. He's really starting to hurt right now from where he hurt himself at work the other day. So I'm gonna enjoy this with Teddy for a bit. This is the day I wish I had worn Crocs, but shoes are off. I'm gonna stick my toes in the water with Teddy Boo. Ready? It's really windy, so if I'm annoying you with wind in the mic, I apologize. Teddy's like, oh, it's a little muddy. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not as bad as Flamingo. But wow, he loves doing this. What do you think, Boo? Yeah? You can take a few steps in. Just be careful, okay? Because I do not have extra clothes today. I foolishly talked myself out of it. I said I should have extra clothes, and I said, no, we're not doing anything that involves water. And I said that the day we went down to the Keys, too. You think I'd learn? Is that fun? We just filmed a reel. And he's like, oh, it's so slippery. I'm like, yeah, but it's not as bad as Flamingo. We've really slipped and slide at the Flamingo Deus area before. Look at Teddy's making footprints. Footprints! Look at you! I'm making footprints too. Now he's gonna dig. Yeah, don't lose your... No! They'll float away. Grab them, grab them. The tide will take them. Yeah, don't do that, honey. There you go. Keep them on your head. Good job, Bob. Good job. Or either that, give them to me to hold. You don't want to set those in the water. That will go out to sea real fast. Yeah, because you couldn't see good. Okay, next time just have Mama hold them for you. So that's looking back at that little Chokloski, however you say it, that little island that's out there on the end. This is the causeway that comes into it. This is a Teddy, and then that's headed back to Everglades City that way. Look, Teddy, back through the mangroves you can see Sebastian, our trusty adventure vehicle we have currently. Where are you going, Bob? Careful, there you go. This is hilarious. So obviously we got good and muddy. I mean, that's not like white fluffy sand. So I thought I had the wet wipes here in the car, but I had put them in our like kitchen fixings picnic bag when we went to the KOA last weekend. So they ended up in the house and didn't come back out. So I didn't have the wet wipes to wipe off our feet and his hands and stuff. So I grabbed this package that I thought was like a better napkin, quality napkin, than like the brown napkins we save from like fast food restaurants because it came from the seafood place. So I had Teddy all in his seat and I'm trying to open it up to wipe off his feet, and I realized it was not a good quality napkin. It's a seafood bib and gloves to eat your seafood with. So that really didn't do us very much good. And of course his glasses were all muddy from where he tossed them down on the beach. So I'm trying to toss his glasses to Mark. I did have actually a thing of, oops, I put them in the bag. I luckily did have glass cleaning wipes on hand so I could try to get his glasses clean, but I missed tossing them to Mark and he didn't catch them and they went down on the floor of the seat. So that was interesting for a few minutes. So, and of course today's the day I'm not wearing Crocs, so I'm gonna have to try to let my feet get kind of dry and something so I can brush off the sand before I put my socks back on in my sneakers. Mark thinks he has a place he might go eat, so we'll see. Well, they are still working on our visitor center here for the Gulf Coast Visitor Center, but we're going to take a cruise through and show you. So they just have a temporary building, and as you can see, they're working. Yes, honey, we're in Everglades City. This is actually part of Everglades National Park, sweetie. It's just, we don't come here because we're not backcountry paddlers. But here you go, the Gulf Coast Visitor Center. You're technically on Everglades land again. Well, they do have restrooms, and then basically it looks like what we had in Flamingo for quite a while. Just a temporary VC right now. But yeah, I'm assuming you could get your book stamped if you had, you know, a passport book, or get a junior ranger book to work on, or any of that. So I'm assuming they'd still have those services. It looks like, they still have the, access to backcountry canoeing and paddling and stuff like that. Looks like you can still rent canoes, but that's it. I mean, there's nothing else, although, are they building a new VC? Is that what they're doing?
Be.
But yeah, this is technically another district of Everglades National Park. Then we have 4 districts. Here, Shark Valley, Pine Island, which is when we first enter the park going to our direction by the Cove Visitor Center. That area is called Pine Island. And then our district, which is Flamingo. Those are the 4 districts of Everglades National Park. But there, I at least got to show you guys. There, it finally clicked it. I didn't think my camera was going to come on. I love that church. I wanted to make sure I got it. So here in this building would be where Wild Man's, drive by it. Where Wild Man's Pizza and Pythons is, but I don't know which section it's in. I'm guessing right there by that like tealish building, maybe? It's not open today, so it's here next to the Right Choice Supermarket. But sadly, not open on Sunday. But hey, if you're ever in Everglades City, the rest of the days, come check out Wild Man's Pizza, Pasta, and Pythons. Oh good, I can get another look at the church though. That works out well.
What's that?
It's just an Everglades Community Church, honey. But it's a very historic church. As you can see, there's like a historic marker out in front of it. But I think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful church. I'd love to see the inside of it sometime. Way back years ago, I read the historic placard, but it's getting real hot this afternoon, so. It was nice by the shore, Dad, with the breeze.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, yeah. Here's the sign you'll see. Wild Man's Pizza, Pasta, and Pythons. So they are talking of tearing down the old depot. So as you can see, there is a fundraiser going. SaveEvergladesDepot.com. Look it up. See if you can help save the depot. And then that's basically it to Everglades City. It really does make for another good little taste of something different to do if you're in the area for, quite a few days or whatever. Pretty soon you're going to cross back over up here on a bridge and then be headed back into Big Cypress pretty soon, back up to that intersection. We did stop here at the Marathon. It's on the intersection here of the Tamiami and where you turn to go to Everglades City. Don't get gas here. Mark did see that down in Everglades City it was still what, $3.52. Here it was $4.79. So they are getting people on the drag who think it's like the only gas station until you get into like Dade Corner. Don't. But they do have a nice Subway in there. I mean, it is kind of limited on its product, and especially at the end of the day, like it is, the only cookie choice they had was a chocolate one. And some of the vegetables, they don't have as much supply as a normal Subway. But for hungry people who didn't want to really spend a lot of money today on expensive seafood, it's gonna do us just well. I got Mark a foot-long BMT. I got me a veggie sub, and I do know their white bread is dairy-free, so makes alpha-gal with just a little bit of oil on it. So just white bread, veggies in oil makes an alpha-gal friendly meal for me. Teddy's gonna eat our chips and our cookies, probably. And I made it a meal deal, so we got Diet Coke, so all of that. Average Subway prices, I thought, because the 2 meal deals together came to like $26. Probably a little bit more pricey than your average Subway, but then again, look where you are.